Hello, I am Abhishek from Team Compiler Crushes. Now we are going to make a Misfits Market landing page. This is the actual design of the Misfits Market landing page, and now we are going to replicate the same. For this, we are going to use a Visual Studio Code that I have already installed on my computer. Now let's create a folder on desktop. I have created it, and also the images folder inside it, in which I have inserted few images that we are going to use in our website. Now let's open this folder in the Visual Studio Code. Now let's create a HTML file named index.html and also the CSS file, that is style.css. Now let's link the CSS file using the link element. Now we can check this, we can go live through the live server. As there were nothing in the body, you can observe the empty page here. Let's change the title for this as Misfits Market. Here you can observe the change. Let's create a division inside the body for navigation bar. Now let's insert a logo of the Misfits Market using image emit, that is img. Now let's enter the source link for it. You can observe the logo, and let's give the height for this as 27 pixels. We can give some padding so that it looks good. As we need just a padding from top and the left, we are given 15 pixels for the top and left. Now let's create another division inside the navigation bar division, that is for buttons. Now let's create a buttons in the navigation bar. We use the AML, that is a hyperlink. Here we have given the about us button, sign in button, and the get started button. Through HR here we can give the link for that button so that whenever you click on that button it redirects to that page. Now let's align the buttons. Let's give the display flex division navbar. Now you can see the change. Now let's give the margin left for the nav buttons as they were so close to the logo. Let's give 680 pixels. Here we can observe the gap between the logo and the buttons as it moved away 680 pixels from its left. Now we give the styling for the AML, that is hyperlinks buttons. Let's give the padding right as some 90 pixels so that each button gets a 90 pixels gap from its right. Now let's change its color to the black. Now we'll increase the font size, and let's remove this line which doesn't look good. So for this we need to go for the text decoration and then none, so that it removes that line. Now let's change the font style, so the font family. Now I wanna add some new kind of fonts from the Google fonts, so I will copy the link. Now let's link the fonts using the link, or else just copy paste the font code which which is available in the Google Fonts itself. I have linked those links as I have inserted the font of Archivo with a weight 800 pixels, and also for alternate I have given the serif. This font it doesn't detect, it will go for the alternate font, that is serif. Now let's style the get started button. Let's give the background color for 2 let's it with the padding. Let's give the border radius of 5 pixels, and now let's give the border radius, sorry, the border with 3 pixels solid black. Now let's give few hovering effects for these buttons, as we need the hovering effect after, that is after we hover it. So we are giving the after. Let's give the content and position absolute, as we are not giving any kind of content, just we need a line. We are leaving it as empty. Now let's position. Now let's give the position. Now let's give the width be 45 pixels, the height be 3 pixels. Now let's give the background color and border radius for it. Now let's give the transform origin to the right, as it need to be transformed to the right side. We are giving it transform origin right. The scale x will be 0 and transition will be the 0.5 seconds. Okay, here I think we just need to give to the about and sign in button. So we have given the ID as now button, so we just need to hash now button. Now we'll give a hover transform origin to the left. So whenever we hover on it, from left it starts and to the right it ends. As we have not given the position as relative to the hyperlinks inside the nav button division, we cannot see the hovering effect. So let's give the position. Yes, now we can see the hovering effect. Now let's give the hovering effect to the get started button too. Let's give a different background color. Now we can observe the difference. Okay. Now let's give the background color to the body. And also let's insert the image. Select the background and then URL. In this we have to insert the image path. We have already inserted the images in an image file that we have created earlier. So here we can see the background image. Now let's position it. Let's place it in the center and then back. As the image is repeating many times, we will use the background repeat. Now we can see here the image is at center. Now let's position it to the end. Now we can see that the image is aligned exactly. Now let's give the background color. You can see here the same as in the actual site. Now let's create a division container in which the details will be given. So first let's give a h1 heading, that is the description which has been given in the site. Let's copy as it is. Now there is a few lines, so let's give it in a paragraph format. Here we can observe those headings and the paragraph. In between the paragraph there is a hyperlink, so we can give the AMA. Let's copy the matter which has been there. Let's give the same as this hyperlink was in red color. Just give the styling. Here we can see the change in color. Now again the remaining part of the paragraph. Now again let's enter the remaining part of the paragraph. Yeah, now we have completed the paragraph. Then after we have a button. So let's give it as a hyperlink as it has to redirect to the another page. Here also we need to give a get started button. So let's give a class bottom button. So already we have used a get started button here also. Now let's go into the CSS part for this container. First of all, let's align the text to the left. Now let's give the margin. I have given the top margin as 100 pixels, and then again from the left margin 170 pixels. Now let's edit the h1 and paragraph and get started button. Let's increase the font size to the 70 pixels. Now let's give the line height as 73 pixels, but there will be some space when we reduce the width. Let's change the font family. Here you can observe this space which we have given here as a line height. Now let's change the color. Now it looks same as in the actual site. Now let's move for the paragraph. Let's increase the font size to 26 pixels. Now let's reduce the width and then line height. Now let's give a color to it. Let's give a few bottom padding so that the button moves to down. Now let's style for the bottom button. Okay, before moving to bottom button, let's give before moving to the bottom button, let's style this hyperlinks which we have given in the container, as it has a underline. Let's remove it. Also let's change the text font family. Now let's go for the bottom button. Let's change the color to the black, then increase the font size. Now let's give the background color and the border. Let's give the padding so that it button be enlarged. Let's give the border radius is 5 pixels. Let's give the transition 0.5 seconds. Let's give the same hovering effect as the above get started button to this. Let's copy the same background color for this also. Yes, now you can see the change in it. And finally, now we should add the query button. Now let's insert the query button. For this, let's create a division. Let's insert the image using image through source. Give the path of the image as it is already in the images folder. The query button image has been inserted as it has to redirect to another page. It should be given in the hyperlink. So now let's go for the CSS part for this query button. Let's give the margin top 100 pixels. Now you can see the change as we have to move the move this whole hyperlink and image towards right. Let's give the margin left 100 pixels. Now we can see that margin. Yeah, now it is adjusted exactly. And now let's give the hovering effect to the query button. Let's give the transition of 0.5 seconds. Let's give the hovering effect to it. Give the transform scale of 1.1. Now you can see whenever you hover on it, pop-ups like so. Here is the final output we have created. The actual site is replicated and we have finished the project. Thank you.